In this next video, we are going to simplify exponent rules and expressions. So the first thing we have to realize is this is what an exponent would look like. This A would always be your base. It sits on the bottom. This number up top here is your exponent. Alright, so we're going to just start looking at some of the rules with exponents. And this paper is in your folder on Classroom. When there's a power of 1, it's always just going to equal whatever the base is. When it's a negative, we're going to flip it over and put it on the denominator, and magically becomes positive. A to the 0, anything to the 0 power equals 1. When we're multiplying and they have the same base, we just add our exponents. When we multiply it with parentheses, we multiply the two exponents, and then when it's division, we just subtract the two exponents. Alright, so if we look at our first example, e cubed times e squared. And we just talked about if they multiply, we're actually going to add our exponents. So that's going to be e to the third plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. This would be my simplified expression. Same thing here, same base of f. So 4 plus a negative 2 would get me a positive 2, so my final answer is just x squared. Think to yourself what x squared times x to the 8th is. Hopefully you got x to the 15th, because 7 plus 8 is 15. Okay, we have a negative exponent in this next one. I'm going to put it over 1. Since it's negative, that should be my first thing I do. We magically bring it to the bottom to make it positive. When we do that, I need a placeholder up top. My placeholder is always 1. Same thing for the next one. It's a negative exponent. Put it over 1. You bring it to the denominator to magically make it positive. And then I need that placeholder. Look at the number 6. Hopefully you got 1 over a squared. Alright, in number 7, 8, and 9, we are looking at the product rule, power of a product rule. You don't need to know the names, you just need to know how they work. I just multiply that exponent in, so 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. The next one we have to be careful. We don't see an exponent on either of these, so there's a little invisible one there. You have to make sure it hits both of them. So 1 times 7 is 7, and then 1 times 7 is 7. Same thing for number 10. I multiply to both of them, e to the 12, f to the 8th. Okay, and the next one we see division. Up top, when we see division, we subtract the exponents when they have the same base. So e's are the same. 4 minus 2 gets me 2, so it's just e squared. X to the 7th divided by x to the 4th. 7 minus 4 is 3, so x to the 3rd. The last few are bases are different, but our exponents are the same. So we can write it all out, or we can just look at it. 2 to the 7th and 3 to the 7th really just means it's going to be 6, because 2 times 3 is 6, to the 7th power. 4 to the 8th times 2 to the 8th is really just 8 to the 8th, because 4 times 2 is 8 to the 8th. Here it's a little easier to look. 6 times 3 is 6 times 6 times 6 times 4 times 4 times 4. So we have 3 of these and 4 of those. So it'd be like saying 6 times 4 is 24, 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 4 is 24. And now we have 3 24s that are multiplying together. So it's 24 cubed. Or just 6 times 4 is 24. And then the 3 stays there. All right, stop by office hours if you have any questions.